Hi everyone, Aaron with the Kunkel Homestead here. Today I'm going to be making a video about building a new rabbit cage. So if you've been following our page for a while, you have seen that we have a round rabbit cage that we use and we keep it over a kiddie pool. It works really well indoors if we have to bring some rabbits inside, as we currently have, and it also works really well outdoors without the pool underneath to allow the rabbits to run around in the grass. We only have one of these, however. It was given to us when we got our first rabbit, Hershey, and we feel the need to get some more of these because right now our living room is the maternity ward. Check it out. So here is our one permanent indoor cage. You can see it has a bottom that the rabbit, Buttercup, can lay down inside of, and it is up on a stand. We really like this cage. It gives us plenty of room for her food and for her nest box. She even has a litter box that she uses. It's a little full at the moment. However, this cage cost us well over $100, and we can't afford that for rabbits that we need to bring in just temporarily. Again, our home is in full maternity ward status at the moment. Here is Coco and her litter box. That's litter number 13. All three of our girls decided to have litters on the coldest possible days, and we didn't want to lose any babies to the elements, so we resorted to bringing a dog kennel inside and keeping her in this very temporarily. She's only been in here about a week, but you can see, even though we just cleaned this out a couple days ago, it is a mess. We can't put any bedding in here because it does not have the edges like Buttercup's cage does. That makes it stinky, that makes it messy, and everything is spilling out into our carpet. Sorry, this video is a little gross. And here's the cage that I was talking about before with the pool in it. You can see this is raised. They do kick out a little bit of shavings, but it's not bad. Plenty of room for the babies and for Mom. It's got a lid that we can close. And like I said, if we take the pool out of it and have the wire by itself, it's really good for letting the rabbits be in the grass. So we are going to build another one of these. Okay, so our materials list. First things first is some cage wire. As you can see, this is 2 feet tall, so 24 inches. The rectangles on it are 1 by 2 inches, and this is a galvanized metal that will keep it, weatherproof, very durable. You could probably substitute this out with about anything similar, but you do want to make sure that it's going to be strong enough that the whole cage isn't going to cave in on itself and that it'll be able to hold its shape. Other than that, we of course need some wire cutters, and some needle nose pliers are probably going to be helpful to wrap the wire around itself to tie it all together. And of course, we're going to need a pool. We keep a couple spares of these pools around at all times. That really just helps us with cleaning out the cages, so we can essentially set up a fresh cage and then lift the wire off the one, drop it onto the other, move the rabbits over, and we don't have to have them running around free or anything, even just temporarily. These pools, you can get them anywhere, Dollar General, Walmart in the spring. Like I said, we keep a few on hand because they do crack, they split, and they eventually get holes and fall apart, and we have to get new ones. So, we had a little bit of difficulty in getting the wire to wrap around the pool because the pool kept wanting to lift up and flip over, so I figured I'm just going to get in the pool and hold it down myself. That actually worked really well. So now we have the wire wrapped around the pool, and what we're doing is we're going to essentially line up the rectangles. We're going to cinch it with a couple of zip ties just to keep it in place. Then we're going to trim the wire, and the little excess pieces that stick out we're going to use to wrap around, and that's what's going to hold this thing together. Okay, so we have our zip ties secured, and see I'm making some cuts. And what I'm doing is I'm cutting as close as I can to this part, And so this is the wire that's going to come and wrap back around here to hold this together so we don't have to rely permanently on those zip ties. Okay, so I have finished crimping up the wires. So now we have our circle, it is around the pool. So now we need to make the lid. So what I've done here is I have basically rolled out a bit of the wire and I'm setting the pool on top of it so that I can make sure that it's going to cover all the way across, and we're going to cut it on the side. Okay, so I've got the roof cut into place. It was a little more difficult than I expected. I had to use a few zip ties to kind of hold things in place so that I could form the circle. One thing that I did do here is I used the original seam to kind of mark where my halfway point was going to be, but I am going to actually rotate this top here so that it's not on that seam. That should help with the integrity of the cage. Okay, I got the first half of the roof piece on. That was a pain, a lot of bending of wire, but I got it on there. So I'm following basically the exact same procedure. I've cut me a piece to use on the other side, but this part is going to be the part of the roof that actually opens up. So in order to build a hinge, what I've done is I've left a spike of wire along one of the edges. This is going to be in the middle of our cage, and these spikes are essentially going to wrap around the existing roof piece, and that's going to be our hinge so that we can open and close the thing. One other thing that did occur to me as I was pre-folding these tabs to make my hinge is you want to fold these down across the other piece of wire. I'm not sure how well that's coming up on the camera there, but this being welded wire, if you were to fold this the other direction, it would actually break off of your wires running the other way. So you want to wrap that around the wire, not away from the wire.
The next day.
So here is the finished product. I've gotten the lid attached to it. I did have to redo the hinge part because I had cut the prongs a little too short and it was crimping up too tightly and I couldn't open the lid. But even with that change, the only downside I'm seeing is I cannot get it to where it will open up all the way and lay flat against itself. Okay, and here we can see we have finished construction. We've gotten the lid attached. The hinge part was a little more difficult than I expected in getting it to stay open. As you can see here, I kind of had to force it into the open position. That bent the wire enough to where it would be able to stay like that permanently, but I've gotten it moved inside. Coco and the babies are in there. I need to clean out the nest box and I'll return that for them. But as you can see, this system takes up a lot less space and it's going to keep my carpet clean. So there you have it, folks. That's how you construct your own circular rabbit cage that can be used indoors or outdoors and is a perfect home for these little friends. Thanks for tuning in, and be sure to give our video a like, a share, and subscribe to our YouTube page if that's where you found this, or give our Facebook a like and a share as well. Thanks.